All right, Cayla, we're live on video. Stand by for audio. All right, good day and good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another Live the Fuel podcast show. So this evening, I'm bringing on, yes, I apologize, another new co-host. Apparently, this networking thing really helps out and keep connecting to things and people. So for your enjoyment today, and I'm recording this in the evening, so I will say also this evening, depending on the time zone that's listening to this, I'm bringing on, yes, yet another new co-host. And her brand is Mommy Millionaire. So check this out. This is a California native, went from saving lives in the ER as a nurse to helping women pursue their passion of owning their own business. So we've talked about this in the past on this show. I do respect for the right people, the network marketing profession. So she's a network marketing millionaire turned business strategist. And she's helped thousands of women start to believe in themselves as entrepreneurs and business savvy babes. So without further ado, welcome to the show, Cayla Kraft.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on. I'm super excited.
All right?
Yeah.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
I mean, you're a mommy millionaire. I got to show respect. So
Yes.
So I love the brand, okay? Because again, network marketing aside, it's as a marketing guy, it's all about the brand, right? And I guess if you could trace this far back, I'm going to dive right in with you, okay?
Yeah.
Were you always the mommy millionaire? Let's be real, right? Did you have that brand from day one? Most likely not, but I have to hear it.
Absolutely not. I kind of just like I grew into it. I actually chose to become an ER nurse because I grew up in a home where like the money environment was very unstable. And so when I was like, in high school and I was thinking about, okay, what is my career going to be? I heard that if you were a nurse, you always had a job. And so that's actually why I chose to become a nurse, was just because I was like, I want a stable job. And then I got into nursing and I was like, I can't do this for the rest of my life. And I found network marketing and I just fell in love with that lifestyle. And then like I kind of caught the entrepreneur bug and I wanted to like create businesses and I wanted to help other businesses become successful. And so that's how Mommy Millionaire came to be, is like all through just a chance accident, basically, like getting started in network marketing and realizing that I can control my destiny. I don't have to like choose things such as like a nursing job to be stable. I can literally create my life to be whatever I want it to be. And so it's super exciting. So that's how Mommy Millionaire came to be.
Love the backstory.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause I will say the rest of your bio here, and I'll plug it in. Is it's like you created Mommy Millionaire to fill a void of community driven by women searching to grow from good to great, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Mommy Millionaire seeks to pour out practical tips and business know-how that is current and relevant to what is working for success today.
Mm-hmm.
So, got to dig into that. You're the co-host today. Why is it important to target the keywords here? What is working for success? Emphasis here today.
Yeah. It's important to me because I feel like, there are a lot of podcasts out there. There's YouTube shows out there. I mean, Google, you can find lots of information on how to become successful, right? Like there's not a small amount of knowledge out there. There's a ton. If you want to do anything, you can find it out there. But I felt like when I was like searching on how to do things, I kept hearing the same thing. And I'm like, I'm trying to do all of this stuff to be successful and it's not working. And what I found was like, I had to like create my own way. And I realized, oh my gosh, business is always changing. Social media is always changing. How people are making decisions, like who to buy from and what to buy, is changing. And I just want to tell people what's actually working today, and not just like the same old stuff that I would hear at events, and like share with them, this is what's actually working. And so on the podcast, I interview moms who make over $1 million a year, or they own businesses that are worth, multi-million dollars. And we find out, okay, this is what's working today, because last year, you could be emailing out twice a week and that was working, but now you need to be emailing every single day,
Yeah.
So I just want to hear from like real life people. This is what's working. And so that's why I created the podcast, was because I'm like, I need to get into contact with people that are making it happen and seeing how they're doing it. because all this other research I'm doing, it's not working.
Right. I agree with you because this is refreshing because I'm a marketing professional, right? Like I've been in the sales and marketing world for a while. Literally my degree is at BS in marketing. But I tell people like it's not a big deal because everything I learned in school doesn't really apply anymore. But the one thing that I still channel to this day is the fact that I dual majored in psychology. So I love the mindset and the psych work. I think that's one thing that you can carry throughout life. So I always reference back to that. But I love your emphasis on this because actually, real quick, I'm going to bounce into some screen sharing here for our video followers on YouTube. There's the site, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, you can for our listeners, you can check her out at mommymillionaire.co, not .com, .co. Why? Because a lot of people don't know this. Quick little, actually, do you know where .co came from?
I have no idea.
Okay, so quick history lesson. I found out through the tech world that .co. So you look at other countries, right? Like Australia. What is their websites? .au.
Oh yeah. Okay.
United Kingdom. .uk. So .co was originally technically set aside for Colombia, and then somehow that got released, unlocked, or whatever, or purchased up because honestly, we've been running out of branding when it comes to the .coms. So a lot of people still don't understand the whole .co thing, but I love to get the background on that because people need to understand, like, hey, when you look at a business card or a website and you see .co, it's not a typo. Stop trying to add an M on. So
yeah,
I like to clarify that, and feel free to use that little nugget of knowledge. So
I totally will.
so ladies and gentlemen, it's mommymillionaire.co. And I love that you put right in here how you can stand out on social media. Okay, well done, because you've already said this. You're targeting a niche market. And actually, ladies and gentlemen, when you first go to her site, I'm screen sharing right now. You'll pop up with her free e-guide, and then she's smart. You did a good job. Whoever did your site, don't just force people into the free e-guide and the opt-in. You gave them the option to click over to home and go to the main site, or go over to podcast. So good kudos to promote the new podcast. And real quick, I'm going to jump into the third tab here. Here's the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. As we're recording this, she's already got 18 shows up. Let's jump into that real quick. Podcasts. As a podcaster, I got to promote you. So current episode, Secret Superpower for Success. Mm-hmm. Speaking of your superpower, are you not publishing more podcasts than I am right now weekly?
I am posting 3 a week.
I only got 2. That is aggressive, young lady.
Well, and I honestly, I just got back from a mastermind this weekend, and I'm thinking about adding a 4th show because people are just like eating these up and they want more. And I'm like, I can do a quick 10-minute riff, an extra 10-minute riff, and just add that in because people, like, they listen to a 30-minute episode, or some of mine are 20 minutes, and they're wanting to hear more. Mm-hmm. And so anyways, I might be adding on a 4th.
All right. She's still hustling. I think that's a good clarification because I started mine back in 2016. I wanted to build consistency. And a lot of people are like, man, I don't know, 2 shows a week. That's aggressive. I'm like, really? Okay. Now, granted, my format is I bring on co-hosts. So I think since I've started this show, I have, let's see, yesterday, as we're recording this, I aired episode 183. So I have 183 shows up. I launched in September of 2016. And I've been doing, basically, I try and release them on Mondays and Fridays. That's the master plan. Not try, that actually happens. So my thing is, as long as you're networking and you're getting out there and you're connecting, you should build a circle of influence. And it shouldn't be hard to find co-hosts like I've done. Now, your format, if people are hearing this right now, I love to cross-pollinate. I love to get on, other podcast shows. They come on here. So this is a double whammy for you. Clearly, you're niching the Mommy Millionaire market. Mm-hmm. So if women or men are attracted to your format right now, is it always an interview style? Is it something? So I'm hearing that you're also considering maybe releasing a solo episode format. Like, what is the total format for your show?
Yeah. So I do a Mommy Millionaire Minute, which is like a 5 to 10 minute episode. And it's just whatever I'm wanting to talk about that week. And then I do an interview with a mom that's making over $1 million a year, or some type of expert. So like we're bringing on like time management experts. organizing experts, stuff like that. We just recorded a couple, but a lot of them have been with moms that are making 7 figures. I just interviewed somebody last Tuesday that she's making 25 million a year, a mom of 4. And so those are important to me because I'm just like, oh my gosh, they get me excited. And then the other one I'm doing is like a 25 to 30 minute episode solo, completely solo, just all having to do with like marketing strategy or mindset stuff, because that's what I'm super passionate about.
Well, it's funny we're talking about millionaire and mindset. So, have you ever heard of the organization called Success Resources?
I actually have not.
So, have you ever heard of Tony Robbins?
Yes, I love.
You ever hear of Gary Vaynerchuk?
Yes.
You ever hear of the author John C. Maxwell?
Yes.
Okay. So, well, it's now probably almost a month ago. Success Resources is like this big events corporation. I didn't even know about them until an Instagram ad popped up in my Instagram feed. I'm like, and I see a cover photo of all these dudes' faces. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. You mean to tell me there's an event coming to Philadelphia, which is only an hour south of me, and all these headliners are all speaking at the same event?
Oh, that's awesome.
So the conference was called National Achievers Conference. And I was like, all right, I got to go. Here's the best part. Entry-level ticket. Okay, and the reason why I'm going with this because I want to hear your feedback as a fellow millionaire mindset person. It was only $75 to go to this event with that level of headliners. I was like,
wow,
what? Yeah. So clearly I went for the gold package and leveled up so I can be all the way in the front. So I went for the upgraded package. That's a whole different podcast. The point is, I'm surrounding myself with people more powerful than me. I even brought in one of my followers from that followed LIVETHEFUEL. I put it out there to my private Facebook group. I said, hey guys, I bought this upper level package, which means I get to bring somebody for free because basically I'm just covering the tickets. And I said, first come, first serve. Who's going to commit? and so shout out to again on Facebook. He's known as Day, D-A-I-D-I. His name is David, but he's got this weird screen name. So shout out to him because I know he listens to the show. But he committed. He showed up. This dude, mindset-wise, he sent me a YouTube video about himself. Like he bioed himself talking to me and then posted this video to YouTube and then sent me the link to show his commitment to come to this event with me. I was like, dude, I've never seen that level of commitment. This ticket is yours. I can't wait to see you in Philadelphia. Never even met the guy.
That's awesome.
So what do you think about that when it comes to millionaire mindset? What do you got?
Why the tickets were only $75?
Not even that. Just like when you hear all of this, as a fellow mindset person, like what do you hear when you hear that type of story? It could be about David. It could be about the event. What do you think?
I'm still stuck on the fact that the event was only $75. Like, what? If I bought a ticket for $75, I probably wouldn't go. Like,
interesting. Another great topic on skin in the game. So now I moved up to the gold package, which was like 300 or 400 or whatever it was.
Okay.
But I was like, I felt like I'd get more out of the event, right? I had more skin in the game.
Yes, absolutely.
And obviously I was definitely up to the front.
That's awesome.
But
I mean, I don't know. I think $75 is great for like if you're, trying to invite friends and trying to get them into the room, so that way everybody gets a chance to go. But for me, like anytime, like because I'm at this level where I'm just trying to like play big, like anytime I see a small ticket price, I don't want it. Like I want, like if something's $15,000, that's when I want it. I'm like, okay, how am I going to get that? And, like I just want that because I'm like, I know I'm going to get high level touch. Like I'm going to get high touch with these people. Like I don't want to just sit in a room. Like I want to like be able to ask these high level people like one-on-one questions, like, and help me.
And I'll quickly follow up on like you're trying to figure out why the heck it was only $75, right? And obviously it's a feeder program, right? It's one event that feeds others. So I just got back from this weekend from a 3-day conference that I found thanks to that conference. One of the speakers before Tony Robbins was a gentleman by the name of Doug Nelson. And his best-selling book is called Catch Fire because the guy literally blew himself up inside of his house and then survived. Powerful story. Anyway, so he's one of the coaches that coach and train under Success Resources. And So the event that I went to this weekend, which you'll appreciate, was the Millionaire Mindset Intensive.
Ooh.
And the entire curriculum is based on the best-selling creator of this, but he sold the rights to it, T. Harv Eker.
Oh yeah. I
So
love him. That book changed my life.
you mean this book?
Yep.
Oh, hold on. There we go.
Yes.
So video feeds secrets, and listeners, secrets of the millionaire mind, mastering the inner game of wealth, T. Harv Eker. Over 1 million copies sold. I think it's got to be way the hell more than that. I mean, it's literally, the international price on the back of the book is $8. I think this is worth so much more. It's such a
Oh,
small, simple book.
I read that book about, what was it, like 6 years ago.
Right?
And when I first read it, it was eye-opening. And then when they had at the end of each chapter, how it has you, do these certain things where you have to like put your hand on your head and your heart and all this
Hand
other
on your
stuff.
heart, and you
Yeah.
chant, well, not chant, but like state your commitments to your money and all
Yeah. And I was like, that is so weird. I'm not doing that. And
that.
then I had so many issues around money, and I lost like all of the money I was making. And so finally I was like, okay, I'm going to go back to this book, and I'm going to actually do the little woo-woo stuff at the end of each chapter. And then it was like everything started to change for me. Like it really like went in, and
Yeah.
completely started to transform my mind. So yeah.
So clearly you come across things like book and movie, The Secret.
Yes.
And see, here's the thing. A lot of this stuff right now you and I are talking about, I too, like you, found it 5, 6 years ago. And yeah, first time I saw The Secret before I even saw the book, read the book, before I even knew about the secrets of the millionaire mind, all this curriculum that I have physically behind me and digitally in my Audible library. I have a massive Audible library. Shout out to Audible of Amazon, because I travel way too much and I can't physically read. It's just like, dude, stream it, man. Stream the knowledge. Real quick, pause on that. Do you agree? Disagree? Are you a physical reader or Audible listener?
I do both. Yeah. I just have a thing about like at night, I have to be reading a physical book because I have my electronics put away. So
Nice. Smart move.
yeah, but I like to listen to Audible like when I'm driving, or sometimes I'll even listen to a book and be reading a different book at the same time.
Whoa. Well, I don't think I've tried that. That's aggressive.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't know why. I just do better. And like I found like I have 3 kids, and when they're
I
gone
see
at
the Lego boat
school,
behind you.
yeah, when they're gone at school or whatever, like I feel like I don't do as well in silence. And so sometimes I actually learn better when there's like, noise going on up here and when I'm reading.
Interesting.
Hey, it works for me.
Well, here's the best part. That may work for you, and somebody might be hearing this, Ryle, and maybe they're like, "I could never do that," right? Or they read that book, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. They see the chanting stuff, and they say, "I can never do that." Let's be real, ladies and gentlemen. Everything that Cayla and I are talking about right now is we're just at a different place on the timeline, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is something I've brought up before on the show. It wasn't something I always said, but all of a sudden just started falling into place as the show progressed and grew. And because it doesn't matter if I'm talking to people about, like, in my free time, I don't really have time to coach CrossFit anymore, but I'm a CrossFit coach. But I've been in so many coaching domains throughout my life. I've been a cycling coach, a spinning coach. I've been a ski coach, just to catch you up. I've been a corporate coach in the corporate space before I left to do the firefighting. So I've done a lot. And the biggest thing that I can take away from that is that the whole point here is that we should be progressing along the timeline, not allowing stagnation. What do you think about that?
Oh yeah. I'm just like, if you're not growing, you're dying, basically.
Ooh, nice. I love
That's
that.
yeah, because
Let's be real. You didn't always know that, though, did you?
oh no.
Okay.
No, not at all. But I don't know. Once I started to work on my mindset, and once your mind expands and you see other people like living their life on fire, living their life with so much passion, and having financial freedom, having that time freedom, and you see that, I just knew I had to have that for my life. And so anyways, like once your mind expands to like all these different ways of thinking, and that like there's always so much more to learn, it's like, why wouldn't you be growing every single day? But no, it wasn't always like that. I used to want just a very simple life where it was normal. And now like me and my husband were just talking about it. It was like, we could never be like normal again. Like it would feel weird.
You reach a point where you start realizing, wow, we don't know everything yet. And you never will, right?
Right.
If you ever think that, you're crazy. Let's be real. But you reach a point where, oh, darn it, I know too much. Like I've now learned enough to know, like, oh God, I'm going down the rabbit hole. And this is a good rabbit hole, man. Like, it's on.
Yeah, totally.
When did you realize that?
Gosh, I think after I read that book, and then I signed up to become a John Maxwell coach. Like, when was it?
Oh,
4
so you
years
do know
ago?
John Maxwell. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So then I went through all of his courses to be like a leadership coach. And it was just like that opened up a whole nother door, like to all these other things and opportunities. And so,
Okay.
yeah.
Real quick pause on that, because I know she's probably going to listen to this show when it comes out, because I'm a brand new listener I just met. So shout out to Danielle that I met this weekend at the Millionaire Mind Intensive. She's from New Jersey. She's also a John C. Maxwell coach.
Oh, cool.
She's finished the program, but she's not doing it yet. I believe it was Danielle. I'm sorry, I met so many people. I hope it's Danielle. So if I'm wrong, I apologize, Danielle, but I really think it's Danielle. I'm going off the cuff because you know what I'm talking about, Cayla. When you go to these big events, like, it's like brain overload. I don't even know how many pages of notes, because even after all these events, all these developments, I still take notes. I still handwrite this stuff down to get it into memory. And anyway, long story short, I believe it was Danielle. She's already finished the code. She's not taking any action yet. She's afraid to, and this is where I'm going with this, because I want to hear your perspective from somebody who a lot of people trust the medical profession, nurses, they're trying to help people, they're trying to grow. And I want to get back to your brand and in your story here. So here's where I'm going with it. I said, okay, where are you at right now? She's like, well, I'm debt free. Like, okay. I make good money. Like, okay. I have my coaching done. Okay. I'm trying to grow my own brand. Like, okay. And I was like, so let me ask you something. I was like, if you lost your job tomorrow, what is your financial freedom number? She's like, what do you mean by that? I said, well, we're here to learn about financial freedom, right? Millionaire mindset. So like, what's your current like survival number? What is your actual wealth? All right. Because really, one thing I've learned over the years, and you can probably back me up, when you define wealth, it's really as simple as this. How many months can you survive based on the amount of money you have set aside versus your expenses and blah, 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 blah. She's like, oh, I'm good for like at least 2 years. My jaw hit the floor because I said, wait a minute. You have a goal to help people. You've gone ahead and finished a coaching program. You could survive off of your savings because you're so frugal, and you've wiped out your debt for the next 2 years at least. But you're afraid to leave your corporate job. Mm-hmm. What do you say to her or other women out here or other men hearing this right now? This isn't just about Danielle, right? Let's go big picture, because I know you've been here. I can hear it in you. Where do you want? I want to bring the fire out of you on this one. Okay, this is what I do. It's my logo's got fire in it. Does this fire you up? Does this want you? Yeah. Let's go.
Because I'm just waiting for.
Do it.
So I get this, and I want to like just validate her, because I understand that your identity is so wrapped up in who you've been as an employee for years. I mean, I waited to quit my nursing job until I was making $800,000 a year. And I had been making $800,000 a year for 3 years.
Are you serious?
And we had been investing in real estate. I mean, so we were set up, but I had this thing. I'm like, I worked so hard for this RN next to my name, which now it's like, okay, whatever. But I was seriously so wrapped up into that. And all I needed, I was just like, that was the validation I needed in my life, was that RN next to me. And so I understand giving that up is scary, even when you know you're financially like going to be okay. It's still, it's the ego here that's holding you back. So it's an ego thing, because she's probably already successful in her job. You know, she probably does really well at it. So she gets constant, instant gratification at her job because it's easy. But going out and building a coaching business is going to be difficult. You have to go out there. It's completely different, something so new. And one thing that helps me, and that I talk with women all the time and men about, is you're out there searching for validation from somebody constantly. We always want somebody to tell us that is a good idea. Oh, you're going to be great at that, Danielle. When you become a coach, you're going to be so good at it. And we just need like all the right people to continue to tell us that until we start to believe it. And what everybody needs to know right now that's listening in is stop waiting for the validation from somebody else to tell you that you need to make that move. to tell you that you need to go into that coaching career, to tell you to, give up your corporate job and follow your dreams. Start validating yourself. If you really want something, give yourself permission right now to go and do it, and stop wasting time. Stop wasting time. You validate yourself. You tell yourself that you're good enough, that you will be successful, and you're going to make it happen, So I think that it's just, she's probably waiting for like that grand moment for somebody that's super successful as a John Maxwell coach to come in and tell her, oh, I see you being successful. I see you being on stage one day. I know you're going to do that. And she's been waiting for that, and that probably hasn't happened yet. And so,
it can't happen until she starts trying to build her brand and get clients.
Right. But she's probably stuck. She's paralyzed by that need for validation and paralyzed for everything to look perfect. She wants to build her brand first and then probably start building a business. But people have it backwards. You don't need to build a brand first. You need to monetize your passion first and then go build a brand.
Mm-hmm. The brand will come. I agree. As a marketing guy like me, I chose to build the fuel first, and then Scott Mulvaney goes along with it, right?
Yeah.
Some people, they lead with their name first. You got to go what clicks with you. If you already have a decent influence and people know you by name in certain sectors, then go ahead and lead with your name, right? But for me, for your benefit, like Live the Fuel, and for my newer listeners that might be finding the show now, Live the Fuel actually stands for Live the Fired Up Epic Life, okay? Because the firefighting changed my life, and I'm an adrenaline junkie, so the word epic gets thrown around a lot because I do a lot of crazy things sports-wise. And I wanted that to become a brand, a lifestyle brand. And that's why I chose podcasting as one of the platforms, like yourself, to enhance and grow the brand, but as a vehicle of sharing knowledge. So I'm intrigued to hear your feedback on that with your podcast. Was that really kind of the niche too? Are we just saying that you're just looking for another domain of exposure? Like, what was your real mission behind launching the podcast? Because you're so new with it. So like, I'm intrigued.
Mm-hmm. So for me, I really wanted to up level my friendships, and kind of in my space, everybody's kind of was doing the same thing, and I just am a very driven person, very ambitious. And I just knew that I had to do something else to meet people that intimidated me, first of all, that were doing bigger things than me, and were just exposing me to a different way of thinking. Cause like I kind of got stuck in this network marketing rut, and there's nothing bad with network marketing. I'm making a great amount of money. I love it, but it's like, I wanted to see, what are other people doing? How are other people being successful? And so that's why I actually chose to do the podcast. It was for a selfish reason, actually, at first, was because I wanted to meet more amazing people. And I knew that if I had a podcast, it would give me that platform, to meet.
Thank you for validating that. I want to thank you for that, because people need to be deep down honest with themselves. Like, I could sit here and market myself the same way. Like, oh man, I'm here to give back and share knowledge, which I am, right? I am trying to build a higher purpose. And that's what true influence is, right? We're trying to take either the knowledge we have or the knowledge other people have and get it out there, whether it be over social media or blogging or podcasting or YouTube or all of it, right? So, but in the end, you do have to have a certain percentage of selfishness, because everybody's got good days and bad days. And in the end, I'm the same way. I especially get geeked out, not just on the entrepreneurial front, like you or myself right now, but I love geeking out about health and fitness. And I bring on, researchers. I've had a geneticist on here, and scientists and like health professionals. And it's like yesterday, I just aired an episode with an oncologist, and we were talking about the healthy ketogenic lifestyle and experiencing ketosis and fasting and fat adaptation to help, beat cancer. Like, I geek out on this stuff. So you have to have a certain amount of selfishness built into this to be sustainable, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Well, I just feel like we all have like different callings and different purposes on our life. And if we don't fulfill those, like, we're not going to be happy. And so like, I always tell people, like, get honest with yourself. Like, it's okay to be selfish, because when Cayla's getting fed like all this good stuff all the time, that means I can make more epic stuff for all the people that are in my life. And so it's really not selfish when you think about it. I'm filling myself up so I can help more people. Like, I know hooking up with all these people is making me up level. It's making me play at a bigger level. And in turn, like, I'm helping more people, like, in a bigger way.
Well,
So
let's be real. Deep down, I hope that every one of my co-hosts who lead this show, one, joins me in fueling the fire for our listeners, but also if I could have my co-hosts leave this format, and maybe they never come back, right? But I've had repeats, but if even just from you and I tonight, that's the whole master plan, right? It's like I want to leave this show fired up. I hope you leave this show fired up. Like, let's be real, we're here to fuel our own fires too, not just the listeners or the watchers on YouTube. It's a two-way street.
mm-hmm. Absolutely. Every time I do a podcast, I get excited. I'm like, I need to go get to work, or I just feel like more inspired and ready to take on because like, let's be real here. Like the life of an entrepreneur is like a roller coaster. You have those highs and lows and it's not like it's throughout the day, you're having these highs and lows. Like, it's not just like, oh, I've had a good week. It's like, no, it's like this, all
Wait, Cayla,
time.
you mean entrepreneurship and the millionaire mommy lifestyle or mommy millionaire lifestyle is not like, oh, I get to pose next to Lamborghinis and Teslas and show off how successful I am?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm confused.
you can do that, but it's also like, it's just, yeah, it's not all like rainbows and sunshine all the time. That's why we get paid the big bucks, is because we're willing to endure those highs and lows, and most people that are employees just won't do that,
So, and I love this because I just scrolled down. I'm gonna do some more. I haven't done some screen sharing throughout the episode here. There we go. Your episode 16. Ladies and gentlemen, I haven't listened to it yet, but judging by the title, this is right up my alley. I'm so analytical, and I used to suffer from this, and we still do. We have to be reminded about this. So for the video feed, you're already seeing it. For the listeners, I'm talking about perfection paralysis, or as I've thrown around, a lot of people throw around, paralysis by analysis.
Oh, yeah.
Analytical. Love it. Can you share a little bit about that episode to get people excited to go back and listen to it? Because I want to drive people to your show. So.
Right. So probably once or twice a week on my Insta stories, I'm asking people, okay, hey guys, will you DM me right now? Because I need to know what you're struggling with. And I get this all the time. People are paralyzed by perfection. They're like, I'm just waiting for like everything to be perfect. I have all these issues at home and this and this and this. So I haven't been able to work on my business. And for me, I'm just like, if you keep waiting for the perfect time, you're going to be waiting your entire life because it's never going to be perfect. Especially like if you have a family, if you have anything going on besides your business, which most of us do, it's never going to be perfect. There's always going to be something. Like today, my son, at preschool got hit by another kid and he had to get stitches this morning, and we were at an emergency dentist appointment. I had to cancel my whole entire day, but I'm still on this podcast right now, right? Because it's never going to be perfect. It's just, you can never like know exactly how your day is going to go. And all you can do at any moment in time is give your best. And your best is going to change from day to day. It just is, like that's just the way life is. And so all I know is I can commit to giving 100% in the very present moment that I'm in right now. And that's all that I'm asking for other people to do is like, stop holding back your greatness. Stop, like dimming your light because you're scared of like the goodness that's going to come out because you don't know if it's going to be perfect or if you're going to skip over your words or if you're going to have a spelling error on your social media post. Just freaking do it, right? Just do it. And the wrong people will not like your stuff, and the right people are going to love you, for the mistakes that you may make. Or, like a couple months ago, I had to go speak on stage. I completely bombed it. We were in the middle of a move and my head was just all over the place. Like I couldn't meditate anymore. And I'm like, I cannot get in the right headspace. And, it was a complete bomb, but like people were totally fine with it. And they're just like, like they thought it was great. And I'm like, okay, well, all I did was my very best in that moment. I know like deep down it wasn't my best, but I'm like, I'm not going to be like, not show up to this event just because I have life stuff going on. And I think people just get caught up in that. Like they just want it to look pretty. And like life as an entrepreneur, like your pictures may look pretty, but it's not pretty, it's just not. And so just own that fact and know that everybody else out there, like it's a highlight reel on social media. And that's a good thing because I don't want to see anybody else's crap on social media. I have enough,
Here.
So
I love this. I love this because I mean, I'm gonna do some more screen sharing. Video feed. I'm on her Instagram feed. Ladies and gentlemen, if you want to follow her on Instagram, it's Cayla, Cayla Craft is her and she's got over 17,000 followers, so clearly people like you. Um, but by the way, beautiful photos. You're a beautiful young professional, and
Thank you.
I think it's important to show some transparency and show some of your life. There you go. You get the family there. Love it. That's a great quote. If you just do you and be relentless. So I love this. This is awesome. And that's one thing I have to admit. Like I tell people all the time, social media, okay? Because you have that on your website for helping from a guide and help guide people. And obviously I train people on it too. I remind people that social media is a tool. It's a platform or multiple platforms. So it is your choice, or I should say, your social responsibility to the world to choose to use it for good or for evil. So I'm intrigued to see your feedback on that.
I love the way that you just put it. And, for me, when I started my network marketing business 7 years ago, I didn't even have a Facebook or an Instagram. And I like to tell people that because people will look at my feed and go, gosh, you just know how to do this. I'm like, no, like I failed my way forward. And, for me, what I realized when I was building my business is that I needed to get a social media because I needed to connect with people. It was easier to do that and find new customers online when I was working full-time as a nurse and as a nursing instructor. So I needed to have like that outlet. And what I realized is that I didn't want to complain on there because I hated when other people complained. And I just wanted to bring positivity into this world. And so I tell people like, hey, when you open up a social media profile and your business, first of all, you need to be public. Like I hate, like people will be like, oh, I'm a coach. And I'll go to look at their Instagram and it's private. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? No, you need to be public. And the great thing about social media is that you decide what you post. You can, like nobody knows where my kids go to school. Like I barely post pictures of my kids because I don't want weirdos looking at, my
you're being a responsible mom.
Right. And like you control it. It's the best thing ever. It's just like your email list. Like you can control what you're putting out there to the world, And so social media, if you're growing a business, you need to look at it like a business. You don't take a day off. It's just like if you had a brick and mortar business, you don't just like not, post a sign on your door saying you're open on Monday. No, like you're going to post that sign every single day that says you're open and a post every single day on Instagram, Facebook, whatever, Twitter, whatever platform you're using. That's telling people you're open for business. So you need to post every single day. And hopefully you're posting what your purpose is in this world and what your mission is. Whether you're selling shakes or you're selling a financial service, tell people you're open for business every single day. And it could be repetitive stuff that you're saying on there. It just people need to know that you're there.
I 100% agree because there's it's a pretty strong statement for me to say, but I think I still believe it. I have no interest in having a brick and mortar business. Everything that I want is online. And if the internet, for some strange reason, fails one day, then I'll worry about it then. But you and I agree on this, right? Like, I mean, my entrepreneurial expedition began or re-began because of network marketing. I left the corporate space, then I went and did the wildland firefighting to serve public service and do the federal government thing, and then I came back and I found, which is behind me in the backdrop here, which you're a fellow fan of, Isogenics, and that's my company of choice. People do whatever they want. But I was just a happy consumer for the first 2 years as a firefighter. I was just trying to be healthy, stay fit, have the right nutrition to keep me alive. And then I was like, wait a minute, I was freaking out. I left the firefighting and I'm like, I was living in Colorado and I still have the spreadsheet to this day. I think I applied to over 200 applications. And I already had my BS in marketing, psychology. I just served in public service as a firefighting. Like I thought I looked like a pretty darn good, candidate. And the job market was just awful. This is 2012. So that's when I said, well, I'm going to start doing this on the side, see where it goes. And it trust me, not easy. I'm sure you could talk to this. I didn't have a clue what I was doing. I wasn't building my own brand yet. I didn't have the right guidance. But in the end, it was a vehicle for me to pursue something free in my free time, part-time hustle, right? And it's made me some money over the years. And it's still there. I still use the products. I still have a team. It's not my primary focus today, because I've now built other businesses and I have multiple income streams that I'm working to develop. Like you mentioned earlier, real estate, coaching. So, but everybody has to start somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I heard from you today as well.
Mm-hmm. I mean, yeah, you just have to start somewhere. Find out what you're passionate about and then learn how to monetize it. It's never been easier to make money because of the online space. Like, so you could literally make money doing anything. And I think about like that video gamer. I can't think of what his name is right now. And I don't know if you've heard of this, but he makes $1 million a month playing video games. People actually pay to watch him play video games.
How crazy is that? That is the best monetization strategy ever.
I mean, he's a genius,
Yeah.
making $12 million a year at least, and playing video games, playing his passion. And so like when people have that excuse, I'm just like, or of like, I don't have any money. I'm like, wow, like you have a brain, so just use it. Like find out what you're passionate about.
And here's the best part. I'd like to hear your confirmation on this. You might not always make the first decision the first time the best one. You're going to make mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
I mean, can you bring up a couple of your biggies earlier in the day before you reached Mommy Millionaire?
I mean, just even in my network marketing business, I sucked at it. And I remember I was going to a cycling class, which is funny. I used to be a cycling instructor.
Oh, it's spinning?
Yeah.
I taught for 6 years.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Johnny G?
No, I can't think of what his name is. It was like 10 years ago.
Yeah. I mean, I was the founder of spinning.
Okay, maybe it was in LA.
Well, no, I mean, I didn't do it in LA, but I mean the athlete who created spit, like the actual silver spinning bikes, the spinning on the side, silver black handles, like that's the Johnny G program, spinning certification. So he was the founding athlete. A lot of people don't even know it's the Johnny G program, but everybody just calls it spinning.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny.
See, we have a lot in common.
So this girl was in my spinning class and she was overweight. And so I go up to her and I sell, health and wellness supplements. And so I go up to her and basically I'm like, how long have you been going to the gym? And like, that's my first words out of my mouth. How long have you been coming to the gym? She's like, I just signed up. And I was like, oh, awesome. Are you trying to lose weight? And she was like, yeah, I was like, okay, well, the gym isn't going to just do it for you. So you're going to need to like watch what you eat. And I sell a weight loss program. So if you're interested, give me your email. And
wow, that's aggressive.
Aggressive. And I got like the biggest hate email from her and like got a complaint like from the gym because like it was actually super rude that I would just walk up to somebody and say that. But I just sucked at it. I would just do stuff like that because I would listen to stuff. Well, yeah, I was so passionate about this, right? But I would listen to this stuff that just said, talk to everybody that you see. And so I'm like, okay, I'm talking to everybody that I see. I'm just doing what these millionaires are telling me to do. Then I had to find out, okay, well, that's not going to work for me. Like, because I actually like will literally do whatever you say. And so I had to like fail my way forward and look like very silly, but I learned what didn't work. And now I know what works. So
I love you bringing this up. That's why I brought that way. I wanted to hear it because that is very common. It's not just Isogenics, right? It's all the network marketing companies, and including my own upline. Like, guys, there's people from a different generation, and things have changed. And you got to get outside the inner circle. Like, go to conferences and training events that have nothing to do with network marketing. Okay, mix things up. Because this is big. This is running a business. This is running online business or whatever you're trying to target. This has nothing to do with network marketing per se. I'm just talking about business in general. Like the whole point here is education and growth. And let's be real, social media is definitely a big part of that these days. I mean, websites are not always going to be the core footprint. Social media is already taking that over. There's entire companies that run their entire brand on social media.
Yeah, but there's something to say about that is because people, they're leaving everything up to social media.
Which is a mistake too, right? You got to balance it. Yeah.
Yeah. And you really need to be focusing on your email list because that's really truly the only thing that you own. The other day I got put on Instagram probation and I was like, oh my gosh, like I can't comment to anybody because Instagram got mad at me because apparently I was on Instagram too much that day.
What?
And Yeah. Like, because,
Okay.
it's the Instagram gods. And I was just like,
Well, which
okay,
is technically the Facebook gods.
right. And so that's when I was like, okay, I need to come up with this free guide that I have because I need to be focusing on emails. And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm like, but what is going to be something better than just my free branding worksheet that I have? So I came up with this 25-page guide all about my attraction technique on how to, bring customers into your business, all by just being the flower, like bringing people to you, not being like a busy bee going out and getting people, like you being just you and attracting people. So anyways, I am so focused on just getting those emails right now because that's how I'm going to really serve my audience, because I'm the algorithm. I decide how much I want to talk to these new people that are coming to my list.
And basically, yes, I'll just sum it up. From a marketing standpoint, I'm the same way. I manage my fiance's business's email list, my email list. It's not really core of my business. It just started happening that way. But in the end, I tell people, like, guys, the one thing that you can control is your email list. And if you respect your subscribers, you're not going to always be selling to them, right? You're going to be teaching, you're going to be sharing content, you're building the relationship. That's the whole point of a true, legitimate email list. And one of the best ways to show respect is to give away a free guide. Like, I'm just sharing it here on the video for the YouTube feed, but again, she's already hinted at it. It's Mommy Millionaire Blueprint, the secret attraction method used by seven-figure business babes. Make brand new prospects say yes. Double your earning potential. So how long have you had that up?
We actually just launched that yesterday because yesterday I actually launched a 90-day accelerated course called the Mommy Millionaire Blueprint. And so we did this for people that just want a free guide from me, but people that want to work closely with me and my team for 90 days to help triple their income, we are doing a course. And so that open enrollment period started yesterday. It's going to end in 2 weeks. So that's why we did the guide, to just basically say, hey, here's a little teaser of what I got up here, and, if you want to work with me closely for 90 days, then I have an application people have to fill out.
That was something that I actually appreciated from this weekend's Millionaire Mind Intensive Training event. Was they did talk a lot about business and reinforcing everything that I teach people too, which was like, guys, like, you don't need to impress or win over everybody in life, and especially in business. And there's going to be people that might sit on your email list for 2 years until finally they're at that point in the timeline that, you know what, she's always shared amazing information. She's always been giving away a lot of great tips. She didn't oversell me. You know what? I'm finally ready to try something new, especially if you end up launching like a new product 6, 12 months down the road. Like, you know what? The other one didn't really sing true to me, but this new one that she just brought out, I think I'm ready. But I've been on that email list for 2 years. That's what you're talking about. And that's what I wanted to reinforce. Mm-hmm. Not everybody's going to be on Twitter. Not everybody's going to be on Facebook. Not everybody's going to live on Instagram. But the one thing you can control, I agree, is your email list.
Yes.
So well done.
Thank you.
So listen, this has been a great show. I've been having a blast. I didn't realize I had much in common with you. I mean, the whole network marketing thing came up, the isogenics thing came up, the spinning instructor thing came up. I love that. Do you still bike?
You know what? We just moved to Newport Beach, so there's a Soul Cycle right here. So I've been going to Soul Cycle, but I used to road bike for a while too.
Oh, I'm a big roadie. So.
Yeah.
See, and there's a ton you just earned respect points. You just earned respect points because most spinning instructors have never done road biking.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, guys, like, how do you teach a class? Like, where's your mind at? When I taught, I would literally recreate my big road bike rides in class. Like, I would go through it in my head. So I don't understand how people teach spinning and never been on a road bike.
Oh yeah, because it makes it so much easier because, like, oh man, yeah, I used to love teaching, and actually, like, going to Soul Cycle, it makes me go, oh my gosh, I want to teach again, but I just don't have time. But
I'm the same way. Like, I don't keep up with the spinning certs anymore. And then I was the USSA ski race coach for 11 years for kids. And then I stepped down from 2 seasons ago. And then I was CrossFit coach because I've always had health and fitness balancing my life, right? And my certs are still valid. And I still coach a class here and there if one of my buddies I own, a lot of my friends own CrossFit gyms. So I'm like, hey guys, if you need a class covered, let me know. But I just can't. I don't have the time to commit to that. I can't. I'm like, guys, like, don't even bother paying me $20 a class. Donate it to a charity. I don't.
Right.
Let me come work out for free. We're good. I don't care. But to your point, yeah, eventually, unfortunately, one of the takeaways is you do have to start letting certain things go out of your life because we only have so much time in the day. And
Mm.
especially someone like yourself who's growing a following and you're really trying to leave a bigger impact in the world, this is hard. It's been hard for me. It's been something that I've had to struggle with. It's like, oh man, like these aren't easy decisions. It sounds like you probably have gone through the same stuff because you've gone through a lot of growth.
Oh man, yes. And I suffer from the shiny object syndrome.
I think we all
So
do.
yeah. And so it's kind of like figuring out right now, like where is your zone of genius at? And you need to be spending like the majority of your time in that zone of genius and setting up major boundaries in your life. And I mean, there's so many things that I'm doing right now that, I love to be doing, but I want to be doing 20 other things too. And just going like, okay, like all those things have to go up on the shelf right now. And we'll pick you up when we have time, maybe later down the road. Um, One thing that I want to share with your audience is something that's helped me with all of that stuff is I put some non-negotiables into place in my life. So these are things that it's like, listen, like you can't be doing everything right now, but these are like my core values that have to be touched on every single day. And I do it in the morning. Like I exercise every single day. And now I have a private Pilates trainer I work with every single day. Plus I'll do Soul Cycle a couple times a week. And those are just like non-negotiables. And so I put those in my calendar. I have everything scheduled out like weeks in advance for my workouts. So that way nothing can go into that space. And another non-negotiable of mine is, reading and friend time, quality time with my kids. So I schedule out 2 hours a week, one-on-one time with each of my kids. And I just have all that scheduled out because as long as my core values are being met constantly every single day, then I know I'm getting filled up and I'm not going to feel like I'm missing out on anything. Like, even though there's lots of things out there I want to be doing, it's like, I don't feel like I'm missing anything in my life right now because I'm being filled up because of my non-negotiables.
I love the non-negotiables. I've not heard it termed that way before, but I'm the same way. I think part of my growth in the past year or two was eventually getting to that point where, number one, implementing a hard-coded schedule. Like
Yeah.
people, if they want to schedule time through Live the Fuel, they have to go to the website. They have to schedule through my scheduler. I work with Acuity scheduling. Some people work with Schedule Once. I don't care what application you want to do. It's fully integrated with my Google Calendars. I lock down what zones you have access to, depending on if it's a coaching versus a podcast. And then it's called time management, people. But to your point, like Mondays and Fridays, right before lunch, no one can schedule an hour and a half time. I drive over to my friend's CrossFit gym, and he and I just work out together. Me and the owner, and that's it. Like that's my time. That's called lifestyle balance.
Yep.
Something new I added. I started really geeking out about kettlebells. I've been training with this. You might have heard of her. She's on the Isogenics Pro team. Valerie Pulowski. She's the world champion kettlebell athlete.
Oh, I haven't heard of her.
Oh, she's amazing. She's on Team USA. She's like a legit athlete, but she competes all over the world with the sport of kettlebell. And so she's my coach. So shout out to Val. Actually, I was supposed to compete on stage in New Jersey this weekend, but they had to cancel and reschedule the event. There wasn't enough signups or something. I don't know. But I was looking forward. It would have been my first kettlebell competition on stage. So, again, I'm always adding in new, fun, crazy things. So, but the point is, so every evening, as long as I'm not out of state, I make sure at 6 p.m. that's kettlebell time in the home garage. I have a CrossFit gym space that I built out in my garage, and that's kettlebell training time. So to improve that skill. So you got to schedule things. That's what I heard from you. So.
Ooh. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So you actually have more freedom in having a very tight schedule.
I like it, especially if you're a mommy millionaire, a proud mommy with kids. Obviously, an amazing wife. I'm guessing your husband's not here to reinforce that, but I'm going to go ahead and just guess. So, especially having moved across the country. Where did you live before Newport Beach?
Well, we moved 3 hours away, but we lived in a really small town in the Central Valley. And so now we're in beautiful, I have an ocean view I'm looking at right now, and
Congrats.
It's just beautiful here. So I'm obsessed.
I love Cali. I go out to events out in San Diego every year. And actually, one of my buddies, he runs a very successful podcast. You know, Michael O'Neill, he's an Isogenics guy, Solopreneur
Really?
Hour.
I haven't heard of him.
You don't know Mike? Oh, dude. I got to get you guys connected. Michael O'Neill is the founder of the Solopreneur Hour podcast.
Okay.
He was my first episode 001, because he was one of my podcast coaches way back. Actually, this past week, he just crossed 9 million downloads on his
Oh,
podcast.
that's awesome.
Yeah. But his whole theme is Solopreneur Hour podcast. I mean, way back, he used to travel with some other trainers to start teaching social media with Isogenics years back. He
Oh,
goes way
wow.
back. Oh yeah. He was originally under the what's his name? The Bucket List Life, the skydiver, the base jumper skydiver guy. Also big in the isogenic space. That's his whole business too. He's based out of Colorado. I don't know if you know
Oh,
him
wow.
either, but he's a big ISO guy. So
How
long
cool.
story short,
Well,
really fun, unique brands, right? You got Mommy Millionaire, you got Solopreneur Hour, you got the Bucket List Life guy, now me, Live the Fuel. Either way, it's a tool. Use it. It's an amazing platform. I respect it. It's not for everybody. It depends on where you're at in the timeline.
totally. And
So, yeah.
I mean, what I love that you're saying about that is that everybody has their own brand. Everybody brings something different to the table, because I feel like a lot of people will get stuck going, oh, I want to do what Scott's doing, but he's already doing it. And it's like, no, but you put a different twist on it. Like everybody brings a different flavor. And so stop being held back by like somebody already doing what you want to do, because you're going to do it. You're going to serve people in a different way.
And truth behind that was Mike's like, hey man, Teo, what's that guy's name? Bucket List Life guy. He's like, dude, you're a big motivational, inspirational guy. You used to live in Colorado too. He's like, follow his page. And he's like, and then when I created Live the Fuel, he's like, just start emulating what he's doing, but make it your own. And I started off just pushing motivational, inspirational quotes for a while, because I geek out on that, and I wanted to share that kind of content. That's how I started with Live the Fuel. There was no consulting agency. There was no marketing and branding. My logo probably changed 5 times over the years until I finally had it to where I like it. It's like it's a process, but you have to make it your own. I completely agree with you on that. So, well, listen,
Exciting process.
this has been an amazing episode. I've had a lot of fun. I mean, I always have a lot of fun. I hope you had a lot of fun.
I did.
Yeah. But before we close the show, all of my co-hosts, and I know you're going to rock this, you guys get to close the show out. And then I'll have, hang tight. I'll give you probably goodbye off the air. But I want this as opportunity to people who have committed to listening to this episode all the way through. If you forget everything else we've already talked about tonight, ladies and gentlemen, mommymillionaire.co, following Cayla.craft on Instagram, checking out her podcast, maybe getting the free e-guide on her email list. But that aside, what is an all-encompassing message behind everything that you're doing, right? Like this is the takeaway. If I forget everything else, what do I want to take away from Cayla, what you're doing, maybe the footprint you're trying to leave behind on the world?
Oh, this is exciting. Okay, I didn't know this was going to happen.
That's why I don't always tell everybody. I like to spontaneously provide that.
Well, I think if you listen to this whole hour of us just inspiring you and giving you tools, I think the only thing that's missing is you believing in yourself and realizing your uniqueness. You're 1 in 6 trillion people. And the fact that you're breathing right now means that you matter and you have a purpose in this world. And I think sometimes we can get so caught up in life and all of the things and in the how-to of where to get to where we want to go. And you forget that you're the magic secret. And sometimes you just need to look inward, and you don't even need to listen to podcasts to follow your dreams. You just need to listen to your soul every single day and ask yourself, what is it that I'm here on earth to do today? Who am I on earth to serve today? And if you make that your focus, your life will be full of joy. You will feel fulfilled at the end of each night. And, life will just be like in momentum. You'll see opportunity after opportunity come your way when you're living your life on purpose like that. And I think some of us just get caught up in the how of life, and we need to just focus on who we're here to serve. And I hope all of you guys can, wake up tomorrow morning and ask yourself, who am I on earth to serve today? And what is my purpose? What does my soul want me to do today? And follow your life like that. So thanks you guys for listening in.
Wow. Yeah. For somebody who just pulled that off the cuff, I mean, out of the ballpark, that's a home run. Okay. Powerful. Well, listen, hang tight when you get probably goodbye off the air. Ladies and gentlemen, I really can't close a show like that. That's all, Mommy Millionaire. I mean, that's Cayla. Okay. I mean, if you did not get inspired from this episode, I don't know what else to do. I can't drop the mic. It's mounted on an arm. She can't drop the mic. She's mounted on an arm. Like we're professionals. So in the meantime, if you have left this episode today inspired and motivated, and you want a different perspective than what I can give you, please go check out her podcast. Go check out her motivational and inspirational content on Instagram and Facebook, and just take action. All right, just one step at a time. So go check out mommymillionaire.co. Score the guide. Okay, learn the secret attraction method used by 7-figure business babes. Okay, I'm excited. I want to be a babe. And again, her podcast is up, ladies and gentlemen. Go subscribe, okay? Go check it out. There's already, as I recorded this, 18 episodes up. Pick one, okay? Make a difference. Make a change in your life. All right, take action. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for tuning in to our Live the Fuel show. Thank you for tuning in. Again, we fuel your health, business, and lifestyle. And Cayla has done that for you all today. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you too can live the fuel. We'll talk to you guys again soon. You're free of the pod. I just leave the extra video going for fun, transparency for the YouTube space. I don't stop recording until we hang up. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. So I hope you had fun.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for having me on.
Maybe I gave you a different perspective for podcasting. I don't know. So.
Yeah, no, I like it. I like it. And I was just listening to Sahara Rose. She was at my mastermind this last weekend, and she just hit #1 in religion podcast on iTunes. Yeah. And that's who gave me the idea to do 4 a week. But she was just saying that like the interviews that she does are not like as popular as solo episodes. And I think it's because people ask the same questions. And I like your thing where it wasn't even questions. It was kind of like,
I've never, ever done a Q&A episode. I don't like them. I mean, there's viral people online. John Lee Dumas, Entrepreneurial Fire is huge. It's too scripted. I want us to have a two-way conversation, and I want you to know more about me, and I want to know more about you, and then obviously our listeners get to hear all that.
Yeah. I love it.
We're human beings. Like, I'm not in California and you're not here in Pennsylvania, so let's have a conversation, because you can't beat the truth and transparency because you don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah, I know. I really liked it. Thank you so much for having me on. And when will this air?
I wish I could say in the next 2 weeks to help you with your campaign, but I believe I already have the next 2 weeks of shows done.
It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, hold on, let's see. 183 up today. There's 184, 185, 186. Well, you might sneak in 2 weeks out.
Ooh,
I had to have a couple of people reschedule, and I just realized, I'm like, wait a minute, I don't think you have those other 2 recordings in there yet. Oh no, wait, he's in there. We'll see. I can't promise you yet.
What is your Instagram so I can follow you?
Well, I have 2. I have Live the Fuel, just for obviously the show, the brand, everything. And then a few people were like, hey man, like you should just open up your personal feed. So I have a Scott W. Mulvaney one that I just like tonight. I posted a steak. I was grilling for my fiance and I. So I was like, hey, here's a beautiful London broil.
Oh my gosh, hilarious.
Yeah, okay. I like it. So
I'll look at both of them.
Yeah, I wasn't huge on Instagram for a long time, and then I'm like, you know what? There's no excuse. You're just out and about. So now I pump a ton. I probably you have a bigger following than I do because of just how well you've done your brand. But I wish I give you props on. I think I probably have more posts than you because I've just started like pushing content. So
yeah.
But I have a very engaged following. That's the difference. Like some people are trying to get 50,000 followers. I really don't care. The difference is how engaged is your following.
And you can't take likes to the bank at the end of the day.
Nope.
Either. So it's, it doesn't really matter. Your following will grow organically.
Exactly.
If you're putting out good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, literally, we closed down the event outside of Philadelphia this weekend after the Million Mind Intensive, and everybody left. And there's 6 people there talking to me, subscribing to the feed, asking questions. We were there for another hour and a half. Just me, like I'm talking to these people. It was crazy.
Because you're a networker, so that's why you're like, you know how to do that. Put yourself.
And that's how, like, you know what? I'll sacrifice another hour and a half before I had to drive an hour and a half home. I was like, I already checked out of my Airbnb. I was like, all right, guys. Eventually, I was like, at the point where I'm like, listen, I love you guys. Please follow. Please message. You can reach out to me. I'm happy to support you. But I was like, I gotta go.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah,
sure you
back
probably
to
have the
life.
same problem.
Yeah. It's
It's
a
hard.
good, hey, that's a first world problem. It's a good
Yeah,
problem to have.
that's true. That's true. But
Yeah.
obviously, if I can do anything else to honor you or support you, please don't hesitate to ask.
Okay.
I have a good network. You have a good network. Keep me. I mean, let me know if you have anything good for you. So I'm excited for your podcast. Good job.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. And
Yeah.
I don't think I got time to subscribe and give you a 5-star review, but I'll do that now too.
Oh, thank you. You know what? Then I will do the same because actually I did get a chance to listen to one of your episodes today when I was coming back from meetings in New Jersey. So, I don't like to give a review until I've listened to a show. And I was like, I really try and, as soon as I find out that I have a client or a guest who's got a podcast, I really try and listen to at least one episode because it's just weird. I can't talk to somebody if I haven't listened to their show.
Well, that's good. That's
Yeah.
good.
And I like it. I like it. You're going to keep growing. Your comfort level will just keep expanding. I mean, you're already comfortable, but podcasting is a different perspective. And I've changed so much since my first episode. So
Yeah, I know. I feel like I've already changed since my first episode and it's only going to grow, but
yeah.
I feel like I'm finally maybe getting into my voice a little bit more and not being as like, I don't know. At first, when I first started, it was like all these bullet points I was trying to hit. Now I'm like, I just feel like I need to go off the cuff a little more. So,
And quick takeaway for you. Are you doing it on Zoom?
yes.
Are you pushing content to YouTube?
No. Should I be doing that? I feel like a lot of people I've had on have not been video ready. So maybe I need to just like put that in the email.
Well, again, you didn't know about it, but it's literally in my registration form. I advise people be ready for audio and video. It's my requirement. I've actually hard coded. I'm like, I don't care. I'm like, that's it. Like, you have to be ready for video because I'm trying to honor you, my co-host, and I want you to have double dip. I have a whole different following on YouTube. Like, people interact completely different with video. There's people who do not subscribe to this podcast in the audio world. I have friends of mine like, oh yeah, man, I started watching your podcast. I'm like, wait a minute, you don't listen on a podcast app? He's like, no, I like it. He's like, I now with the new YouTube Red or whatever it is, like you can have it playing without your screen unlocked. So there's tons of people now listening literally through YouTube on their smartphones.
That's so smart. I'm going to do that.
Yeah. And you're generating new content for YouTube. So that's a whole playlist. That's a whole playlist. You can create a whole special playlist just for your podcast.
Whew, I got some work to do. Now I'm fired up.
Yeah. Well, my client, he hasn't agreed to go 100% yet. I mean, he's like a world famous trainer out there in LA. We just finished crushing an Indiegogo crowdfunding campaign for a documentary film he's going to make. So we won, and we raised over 150,000. It's not going to close out till midnight tomorrow, but so he'll be making a film on how the truth behind fat. It's called Fat, a documentary. It's very exciting. But I've been on his show 3 times. Like he's been on, like he goes on Adam Carolla's podcast as a guest. Oh. And Adam Carolla has the Guinness record of podcasts. Like literally, he holds the Guinness record. So, yeah.
That's really cool.
Good people to be connected with. So anyway, he's not one of my clients because of Indiegogo and because he knew nothing about it. He's 55 years old. I love Vinny, but he knows nothing about crowdfunding. So I was like, well, I've been supporting crowdfunding campaigns for 2 years, so I can probably help you out.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's exciting. It'll be a good new testament to success. But I told him, like, Vinny, please stop using Skype.
There's a lot of people I've been on their podcast that do Skype and Uber conference.
Yep. And I started that way. But Zoom is used by corporations. So they're going to invest in proper IT infrastructure to give you better performance. And I switched over back on episode 51. So over 130 shows since all exist on YouTube as well as the podcast world. That's so smart. That's content.
Yeah.
It's content.
Yeah. That's smart. I'm going to thank you for that.
I believe in giving more than I receive. So.
Well, awesome. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, again, it was great connecting. And I still can't believe that we had a tighter connection than we realized.
I know. That's awesome. So cool. That's so cool. Well, I hope it helps with your isogenics business too.
Oh yeah. I mean, like I said, if it happens, you and I are probably at that point where I'm like, hey, if it happens, awesome. I'm here as a resource for anybody listening or watching. But I don't force it. I'm like, I let it happen. And when people want to come to it, they can come to it.
That's exactly how I am too. And people are coming. It's crazy. The more I let off the gas with it, people come.
So we've gone more holistic, and it feels so much better.
Yep, it really does. Okay, well, thank you so much. I hope you have a good night.
You have a great night as well. Take care.
Right. Bye.
Bye.